Hello, welcome to what is supposed to be an instructional video on the supposed to be replica of the Daemon 5009 FAST CREW and Supply vessel. It is my first build, so maybe not everything's as logic as you might think. So let's move through this quick so I can show you how to use this thing quickly and efficiently. So at the very back we'll start with the tow connector. We got a tow connector system back here which you can manually adjust to whatever side you want it. Also back, this can also be operated from the bridge. We got our winch in, winch out, our cable length in case you want to lock the mag all button so you don't accidentally disconnect. Here is our stress, and exceeding this stress 200 will rip it. Back here we also have our fuel connectors which will pump only jet fuel for the two main jet engines. Same thing on the other side. Jet fuel only, right. We got a hatch that goes down to our dry cargo space. Got a max load of 100 tons. And over here we have our additional fluids tanks, which you can take anything in and out of. So, oil, whatever. Here we can enable equalized tanks. We can disconnect the hose, which is on by default, so nothing gets connected by accidentally, yes. We can pump to this tank, so enabling this will allow us to pump whatever fluid in there, and enabling this pump from port tank will allow us to pump anything out of this tank. So at the moment we equalize fuel tanks, so if you pump 500 liters into this, it'll do 250 each. In the middle we got our dry cargo control. We got our cargo lights which we can enable. So let's open these dry cargo hatches, and as you can see it opens up our dry cargo space, you can plonk stuff in using a crane which is operated from the bridge. Over here we got our fuel tanks filled with jet fuel only. We got a disconnect pump button, we got our refueling pumps, and we got our equalized tanks. So this works on percentage, so it'll equalize tanks on fuel percentage, not how much is actually in the tank. So we move in to the crew area, which is where the crew, well, the passengers sit. That's what I meant. We got our location on deck right here. Turn the lights on, get some coffee. Got a little bathroom here which you can lock yourself into with the lock button, obviously. A little mirror if you, yeah, that's pretty simple. Moving on to the bridge. We got our first thing I like to do is turn on the radar and map. Make this point our direction. Turn the bridge lights on, navigation lights, which obviously do blink blink on the outside. Each side, blink 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 blink, yes. Here we have the night mode, which puts the back lights on and dims the lights and makes them red. So if we turn this navigation lights off, yes, makes it easier to see in the dark. Active stabilization, we got a pitch control which I recommend keeping on. Just basically it pulls the front under using foils and it lifts it back out using small foils. We got a time, we got a zoom in radar which we can increase the meters at which it scans. We got a depth warning letting us know that there's less than 10 meters under the bow. We got our horn, a throttle, clutch, and our fuel pumps, our jet engine and engine on. Also here's the reverse button. We've got our spotlight which we can use. This is the front spotlight which you can also adjust using this. Let's wait for these engines to turn on. They will turn on automatically, ignite at 0.5. There we go. We got our anchor. Got our anchor grip, so if we unlock the anchor we can see what the anchor is doing. Also if we now found a target, it'll say okay, the anchor's locked, you're ready to pull its grip, you know. We can unlock the anchor and store it again, and now the anchor is stored. Here we can drop and lift the anchor. Here we got our autopilot on off. We got our ETA, we got our distance, starboard bow thrusters, moving the ship left and right. So we got our input, so just put some coordinates in here or a waypoint that you have active. I could put this waypoint on right now. The boat will take us there. Here we have our ETA, which real-time calculates. We got distance. We got our time until out of fuel. got our engine stats, we got our tilt from the automatic stabilization, and we got the tilt from the actual boat, so the boat will slowly adjust this. Equalize fuel tanks enabled as well. Yes, okay, so let's head over to the pump controls. The blue tanks are ballast tanks, so they won't show up as flooded if they are. Anything else will glow and let you know where it's flooded. We can disable the flood warning right here. Yes, it'll annoy you to shit until you have disabled it. Here we have our flood pumps. It'll let you know where what is flooded. Here, bow, hull, bridge, engine room, cargo flood. And it'll show you exactly where that is. So here we have our emergency release connector for the tow thingamabob at the back. You got our crane camera so we can see what the crane is doing. So let's just sit down here. We can move the crane up and down. As you can see, the cable's coming down. Got our tow connector port, so we can move this to left and right, however we desire. And got our crane lights so we can see what we're doing, and the cargo lights, which are already turned on, so we can't override them right now. We got our crane starboard, we got our crane magnet, which we can turn on, and we got our crane port, which we can move the crane to left and forward and backward to load the dry cargo in. Also up here we got the same storage controllers down there. Also we have an additional flashlight, additional spotlight, which we can use to look better, see better. So we can see we got our time until out of fuel, distance to go, and our ETA. Okay, so let's move down to the crew cabins, which will be located down here. Turn on the lights. We got our captain's suite. Sorry. Open the door to the crew cabins. Turn the lights on and off. Not much in here. Open, close the door. Here we got a captain's suite, which is a little bit nicer. This guy can, you know, sit down, turn his lights on. He has a TV. Yes, perfect. So let's move on to the medical room. In here we just got medicals. They can also watch TV. Got your lights, and yeah. So let's move on to the security room, which is here, where you can use your lazy chair to move left and right. We can toggle our video feeds. We can, let's disable that for now. We can switch outside feed by the push of a button. We can also automatically switch feeds, so this will automatically switch video feed every 2 seconds. Here we have our toggle incoming feed, but since we have no incoming video channel, I cannot show you this right now. Oh yes, we also have our occupied passenger seats list over here. Let's move on to the engine room, which here you can see the additional fluid tanks. Here you can see the pressure, and you can equalize or disable equalize tanks just in case you want to override this down here. Down here we got our engine room. We got our rear of engine, we got emergency battery, got our flooded, engine room pumps, and fire room extinguisher. So this can extinguish the engines in case of a fire. We got our main power, which we can switch off, which won't do any difference now because the generator is still outputting power until it's not spinning anymore. Emergency battery, as said, and yes, engine room lights. So let's move on to the dry cargo. Over here obviously we have our dry cargo, which you can see can be operated from the crane. Also here a little hatch to go to the other one. This can be all accessed through this hatch, which we have opened. Oh, which we opened before. Close that. Close the cargo, and we are done.